All right, let's get started. Daylights are burning. Up first is the Summer Lemonade Tricolor Thumbergia Mix. Look at these vines already. Now these are just going to hang down and have a plethora of flowers. They're going to vine up and have so many flowers. Brought one down for you to see. See how the three colors really work together well. Then we can train these vines to go up onto something, and you're also going to have them hanging down low. You can snip these if they get out of control or send them back up. Really cool plant. Going to give you flowers all season long. Next up is the Calibrachoas. We've got a couple different varieties. One of my favorites, let's put it here, Dracula. So this is all one color, 4 plants. And you can see that vibrant purple, that dark black. And then we got that tricolor Ipomoea vine, that purple edge. Look at the way it brings out the colors of that Dracula flower. Very cool stuff. And then this purple Ipomoea will hang over. Next up is this ombre mix. Now this is the same plant, but in this plant, it bicolors. So you can see the different shades. So it goes through different light to dark. And then this one has a creeping Jenny. So I felt like the yellow really brings out that. That will hang down. I like to put a little spiller in all of these. Next up, blueberry scone. All the same plant. Again, bicolors, but you can see the new ones, how bright they are. Then they kind of fade off into a pastel. Look how full this is already. This has got a creeping Jenny too. One of my personal faves, cappuccino and mango. So here we can see the 2 colors. Here's a cappuccino. Here's your mango. They go well together. And the creeping Jenny. Moving on down. This was a fan favorite from last year. This is the pink and purple chameleon. Look at those colors. And this one I went back in with the tricolor Ipomoea because that purple really brings out the purple and the blues. And then the last type of Calibrachoa, it's a little bit behind, blackberry pie. Still very poppin' colors. Right down the line, this sold out of last year because these are just so popular. It's the 2 versions of our hummingbird feeders. So here we have the 2 orange ones. This one on my right, you can see the bicolor. It has a red and a yellowish flower. It's a little bit more of a low creeping one that'll fan out. And then this one on my right is a much bigger flower, probably twice the size, but it's all bright orange. It has a little yellow, but for the most part, it's orange. And this one stays up. It's a little bit more upright. But if you've never had a hummingbird feeder plant, you have to have this. You won't even need a feeder anymore. We put them up and our feeder doesn't go down really. They just love these plants. These, give me another week. They need to get nice and big. Coming on down the line, we got the purple and the dark red verbena. So that's a nice color combination. 2 vibrant, pungent colors. Work well in the heat. And these are going to vine and trail over. More. We have some lantana. This is a blue moon mix. Then we have, look at the pungentness. This is a neon. Look at those colors. How pungent is that? Lantana, just like verbena, also can take the heat. Really hot, full sun if you have it. It's going to trail over and stay nice and low. And that's going to do it for the hanging baskets outside of one more but I've talked about this one a lot. This is the purple bodacious hummingbird falls. You can see the start of the flowers. They start off almost black, and then I'll show you a patio pot where it's blooming with purple flowers. Pretty excited about this one. Haven't tried this one before. Now let's take a look at some other things. Here we have some calibrachoas. These are really nice trailing plants. Lots of flowers. In the petunia-esque family, but they don't need deadheading. This is iconic strawberry. Get this one. That's calistatic sunspot. Very cool. Behind me, we have an iconic purple, that yellow center. Last but not least, iconic apricot. This is a nice pastel-esque style. And again, you can see how they just creep and carpet everything. They work great in planters and hanging baskets. They can really go anywhere. Here we have some mixed containers. I just talked about that purple bodacious hummingbird falls. Well, here's the flowers. Look at these things. I mean, look how purple that is. That's purple on even darker purple. Crazy. These things get huge. So many flowers. And these I mixed with some cannas. And then this is a dichondria. It's a very low creeping plant. But the way this silver pops with that purple. That's what we're talking about. Right on down the line. I don't carry a lot of petunias, but this one I just had to. Plum cockatoo. Look at that flower. That's what it's all about. Down here, I have a double blanket. I'll show you the tag. A double blanket silver surprise petunia. This petunia goes through stages of flowering. So they start off with this light purple. They turn to this dark purple. Very cool. And again, these don't really need deadheading, but they spread out. Look how big this is already. So if you have a container, it'll spill over. If you put it in the ground, it'll just creep. Now we're getting into the special stuff. This is exactly what I've been waiting for my whole life. A hardy banana plant. That's right. I'm a fan of that tropical look, that Central South American vibe. And now they have a banana plant that is a perennial to zone 4. And we're only in 6. So this thing you plant in the ground, it's going to get to be 6-7 feet in 1 year. It's going to send up multiple shoots. You're going to have this really cool banana. You're going to cut it back, and it's going to come back every year. You're not going to have to replant it. How cool is that? This is one of the 2 or 3 plants that started this whole journey, because this is my tropical banana, Ensenada morale. This thing is great for containers. Look at that red leaf, the green center down the middle. This plant gets big. These leaves are huge. You can hide behind them. The stalk on this, by the end of the season, it's going to be 8 inches. These are the plants people come by and they're like, holy smokes, what is that? Love this. I mean, you can look at that stalk already. Put this thing's root bound. Look at that. Those are some good roots. One day you're up late drinking and partying. The next day you're excited about roots. Life gets by fast. Down here, we have my trademark eucalyptus. You could smell this. Looks small now, but this eucalyptus plant, planted in the ground, can grow 7-8 feet in 1 season. You can just have a bush of eucalyptus that you can cut and make bunches, bouquets, whatever you want. Love eucalyptus. Very cool plant, and it smells good. Here, we got some 4 versions of more like a pom-pom dahlia. They're more a shorter bush than the dinner plate dahlias, but they just explode with flowers. You can see this one right here. It's got one, but look at all those buds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 buds on this plant already. This is goldeneye. Down here, hasn't bloomed yet, but one of my favorites that I'm hoping for is Mega Bloom Passion Fruit. That looks cool. Two others over here, just starting to get their buds. This is Electro Pink. Of course, I grab one without the label. Look at that dahlia. Oh, that's cool. These get to be about 18 inches, so they're not going to take over. Great for containers or putting things around them, or just making a container of all different colored dahlias. And here we have the goldeneye. I don't have to show you the label because this is already flowering. And these dahlias I find are a lot easier to take care of than the dinner plate ones that are started with the bulbs. These are started with roots as plugs. So if you struggle with a dinner plate or a bulb dahlia, don't worry about these. They're a lot easier to take care of. It's not so much of a watering and rotting issue. You saw these lantanas, but we have a few in some 4-inch pots. But that's the Blue Moon. Beautiful colors. Here we have that tricolor Ipomoea I've been talking about, but in a 4-inch pot. Down here we have some Canis. So I have, look how many shoots they already have. 3 shoots. And they're just going to keep pumping up shoots. So here we have a mango. A little bit farther down we have a yellow one. This one's super cool. Golden Flame. It's like an orange and a yellow highlighted. And then finally, it's just starting to get its first flower. This one is the Scarlet. Come down, these are the Pretoria Bengal Tiger Canna, the ones I harvest for my own mother gardens. So they're in a much bigger container, and you can see how big they are. They just get huge. And for some reason, I've had some varieties last year, all from the same tuber. It's not a different variety, but look at this. Some of the leaves are bright red and green, and others, it's all from the same tuber. So I have no explanation why from the same tuber, one end shoots up and it's green, and the middle shoots up and it's red, but it's not a phase. I grew this last year, and it holds that color the whole season. So I had no idea which ones were going to be which, but these are them. And then I just have some monster ones that are just already started these early, so they're nice and big for you. But if you're into gardening or not, cannas are super easy. You can go in shade, sun, part sun. They have a tuber. They can handle the dry. They can handle the wet. Doesn't matter, and they're super easy to save. Here we have what we call our Hummingbird Haven mix. And this is pretty cool because it comes in 3 colors. But what they do is that they'll take 3 seeds and drop them all together so that the plant grows within itself. So when you see here, you can't tell where the orange, where the pink, and the yellow is a little bit behind, but they'll just all grow within each other. Back this way. If you pan left and right here, these are all my dinner plate dahlias. So No signs, no flowers yet, but they're growing. And these are the dahlias that get to be 4 feet, 5 feet, huge flowers the size of your face. So cool. One of my more popular ones last year was the annual salvia. This is the extra large blue. Though it looks more purple to me. But these things get to be 3 feet tall. Flowers all season. You can see how many branches it already has. All these branches are going to start producing flowers. They're long and tall. And this thing gets, like I said, to be about 3 feet. This year I have a newer variety. It's a little bit shorter. It's more of a 24-inch one. It's sky blue. It's almost 2 colors. It's like the blue and the white. Here we have some succulents. These are more for the fall. I got to grow these out a lot. I want to touch base on some trailing varieties. So here, you're probably familiar with sweet potato vine. Look at those roots coming out. But these are just all foliage, no flowers, but they just trail and grow. So any in the ground, in a container, they're just going to explode, and they make a really good trailing, creeping plant. There's three kinds. You got the yellow. This is a newer variety, which I'm pretty excited about. It's called Kelly Ray. But look at the leaves. They're like molted, bicolored. And then look at underneath. Look at that purple. And you see the new growth. It's bright green. You have some purple older growth. Pretty excited about those. And last, I already showed you these, the tricolor Ipomea. All in the same family. All do the same thing. The Marguerite is the most aggressive, as in it's going to be the biggest. And then these other ones are right behind it. We have some verbena. We saw the hanging baskets. Well, you did some in the 4-inch pots. You can see how much they creep already. And look at all the buds. These things just become a carpet. I got the red, then I got the purple because I feel like they go well together. Just really, really fits in nicely. If you haven't noticed, I'm a little biased to purple. I love purple. Here we have our patio pots of the Thunbergia. You saw the hanging baskets, but then when you get these guys, they're all just grown into each other already. This is what's great about Thunbergia. You can just rip it. But this will sit on the ground. You have your pinks, your yellows, and your whites. And then all these trailing ones, you can either just coax and train wherever you want. You can snip them. You can send them up if you wanted this trellis to keep going up. But these flower all season. Just really, really nice plants that take up a lot of space if you have some area to fill. Here we have some herbs. Here's some basil. This is that tri-basil. It's like 3 colors in one. Those leaves. The green basil I carry, looking real healthy. It's a downy mildew resistant variety. Basil is often plagued with downy mildew. It's what kills it every year, so it's a good variety for that. All the herbs look good. Oregano, you can smell this. Oof. Oregano. There we have lemon verbena. I'm just going to keep smelling them all for you. My favorite herb, even though I don't use it for any type of edible anything, is the pineapple sage. Again, it literally smells like pineapple, but you plant this in the ground and it gets huge. It can get to be like 4 feet tall in a season, but it gets these beautiful, beautiful red flowers that pollinators, insects, they just love it. Oh, I smell like pineapple right now, but this herb is one of my favorites. It's getting big. We got some cilantro, rosemary, got mints outside because they can handle it. I'm super excited that fuchsia combos I made are just starting to bud. Well, let me show you what I did. Instead of just the same color, I basically took a purple flower with the red cap. I put 2 plants into that one, and then I mixed it with the purple and the white cap, or the blue and the white cap. So you'll have two of each offset. So this is going to be awesome. And what I love about it is it's probably one of the best flowers for shade. So if you have a shady spot, you're going to want this. They do not like the sun. I won't talk about these too much because I talk about them all the time. But the red tiger abutulon babies, look at those flowers. Let me spin one up for you so you can see underneath. I mean, that's just wild. Talk about a showpiece to get people talking. And these can be brought in for the winter from houseplants, so you don't have to lose it. Coming down. You saw me earlier with the ensenada about the one or two plants. Well, the colocasia, the jungle plant, is the other one. I just did some videos on this, but look at that foliage. Look at that red streak. You can kind of already see it. See in the leaf where it's starting to molt, be a different faded. That's where the red's gonna come. And these things get huge too. A leaf you can hide behind. The stalk becomes thick. Unlike the banana plant, these will send up all different shoots and runners. So you could plant one of these in the ground, you'll have one big one, and they'll just send out runners, and you'll have a habitat of all different size ones growing up. It'll just, once you grow one of these, you never grow back. You never go back. So that one is the redemption, and this one's pretty cool. This one is called Pharaoh's Mask. It almost has that dark blue vein. They look small now, but I'm telling you, they're going to be taller than me by the end of the season. Those things can go in water. Those things can go in containers, in the ground. But it'll just give you that really cool jungle look. Behind me, I have some of the lantana topiaries I've made. These are about a year old, a year in the making. But they're just really good for hummingbirds. They're actually at a perfect size where they could be in the centerpiece of a container too, and you could do some other things around it. So these are some smaller ones. This is a little bit of a bigger one. But awesome, awesome for pollinators, butterflies, hummingbirds. You can see this one's mine in the back. You can see how big it is. That's only a year old. Huge. These are my eucalyptus topiaries from last year. But pretty cool to show you. Overwintered it, and look how much new growth is already. Look at this. Look at this stem. Look at all these things popping out. So good. But your eucalyptus plant that I showed you earlier can get this size in one season. Just talked about some fuchsias in the hanging basket. They're a larger variety. Here I have Nikita and Mariska. And these are a little bit smaller varieties. But here you can see the pink with the purple. And then here's Nikita. It's a little bit more of a pink and a red. As a quick shout out to my mother abutulons. You just saw the babies. Well, they all came from these guys. Mom and dad right here. So, these are mine from my yard. People were like, how old are these? I got these last year. So the ones that I just showed you are like this. They'll look like this by the end of the season. And I'm not kidding you. It's a fast grower. And this is how many flowers it gets. It's not even summer yet. It's really, really cool. And we got the shrimp plant. These are 2-year-old ones. These are ones left over from last year. So they're kind of already at a topiary look. But these are really cool. I got some smaller ones. Again, tropical plant that can go outside in the summer, but it's really going to come back in for the winter. Just branches and gets these white wings. I got its name, the shrimp plant. Kind of looks like a cocktail shrimp. I love them, and just for preference, here's my mother one. Look at how many flowers. Very cool. So that's the greenhouse in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for staying tuned. Let me know if you'd like to come tour the greenhouse. We can just schedule an appointment. Other than that, I'll be seeing you at the Mount Hope Farm in Bristol, the Tiverton's Farmers Market, and in June, the Attleboro's Farmer Market on Saturdays at La Salette. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it again, and we'll see you around.